Big South Conference play starts this week for the Liberty Lady Flames, and we're visiting now with Lady Flames guard Karly Buer, who is leading the team in scoring at this point in the season. 13 points a ball game. Karly, thank you for your time. And before we get into hoops, let's first of all talk about Thanksgiving. It was a little bit different for you and the rest of the team than the rest of us, but I think it's something that as a basketball player you're pretty used to, spending Thanksgiving on the road. Tell us about how the trip was to Atlanta, and obviously the wins were nice, but overall how Thanksgiving Day went.
Yeah, it was a great trip. Coach Bled, our assistant coach, has some family relatives down there, so as a team we were able to go over there and just have an actual family Thanksgiving, so it was nice. We didn't skimp on the food at all.
That's always important. You got to make sure you get a good meal in before you go out there and play the next day. But was that your first trip to Atlanta? Have you been there before?
My first time. So it was fun. We stayed pretty much right downtown. Georgia State, the college, is pretty much downtown. So we were able to experience a lot. We actually went to an Atlanta Hawks NBA game, which was fun. We got a tour of the Coca-Cola factory. So we had a few off days where we weren't playing, just practicing. So we got to kind of experience Atlanta while we were down there.
Yeah, you were definitely in a good area right there. All that stuff kind of right there together around Centennial Park. But let's talk about the games in particular. You guys knock off Penn State in the first one, and then got a late layup from you late in the Georgia State game to win that one as well. Tell us about what you guys were able to do well down there.
I think we really came together as a team, and we tried to be consistent. And a few of the early season games, we just lacked in consistency. We were playing well against good caliber teams, and the teams that on paper weren't quite as good, we kind of weren't consistent and lost some of those games. So that's what Coach had been harping on, was just consistency throughout the whole tournament. So we tried to bring that as much as we could, and just an all-around team effort on those wins.
Describe the Georgia State win, because, again, the Penn State win, you guys are up double digits or whatever, but Georgia State looked like it was a little bit more nip and tuck.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought battle throughout the whole time. We had change in leads and a couple ties here and there, but overall we had a good crowd there, which helped support us on the home stretch, and just the energy of a tournament. And there's trophies on the line and what have you, and just coming together and being able to sink some free throws at the end, just show that we can win close games at the end, which was a good confidence builder going into conference.
What did you see on the play there at the end at the Georgia State game where I think you got the layup with like a minute and a half to go?
Yeah, we were just trying to keep attacking because some of their players were in foul trouble, and we were in the situation where we would shoot 2 free throws if they did foul us, make or miss. So just trying to keep attacking, and luckily that shot went in.
You're an older player, but it's your first year with the program. Do you feel like that you've come in right away and kind of established yourself as one of the leaders, not just in scoring?
I don't know. I was a leader at Missouri State, so that just kind of transpired over a little bit, I guess. But just the incredible leaders already on this team and the upperclassmen, it's very easy to follow their examples. They're great leaders and provide great energy, so it's kind of just pours out throughout us players as well.
What's worked for you offensively early on here? I mean, again, leading the team in scoring, hitting some key shots there.
Well, sometimes I start out shooting on the outside, and if I make them, great, but usually I start missing, and so I have to kind of change the game plan in my own mind to attack instead and get to the free throw line, and that gets the other teams in foul trouble as well and provides opportunities for the inside girls to rebound tough shots and putbacks. So just trying to be aggressive all-around player and not just have one dimension to my game, but try to make it a whole battle fight. So.
You mentioned you came from Missouri State. You're here your last season. Tell us about when you first heard about Liberty and what made this your choice.
It was definitely a God thing. It wasn't until late. I actually thought my basketball career actually was over. I tore my ACL at Missouri State, was graduating there last spring. So I was just kind of Googling grad programs within my major, and Liberty University popped up. So I applied to get into the university, got accepted for my program, and it wasn't until early April that Coach Green called me and asked if I want to be a part of the team.
Wow. And then it probably helped that, once you got here, you're like, oh, their women's basketball program's pretty good too.
Yeah, it was definitely, like I said, a God thing. The way he orchestrated everything for me to be here is just unbelievable.
Well, Karly, we're certainly glad to have you, and wish you the best success coming up here in the next few weeks.
Thank you so much.
All right, visiting now with Lady Flames head coach Carey Green. And, Coach, before we get into the team so far and conference play coming up here, we talked to Karly Buer for a little while, and certainly a great story of how she wound up here at Liberty. When did you first discover her here? Because it looked like she came here before she really even realized the basketball situation.
Well, we had seen her probably 7 years ago, okay, in the AAU circuit, and she went to Missouri State, and we never crossed paths. While she was there, going into her senior year, she got injured, and I knew her new coach, and her new coach knew about Liberty. We're friends, and I think Karly had approached her current college coach at that point in time and said, look, I'd like to continue in the major that I'm in sports management, and Liberty University has it, and I'll probably go there instead of return. And there was just not a major there for her. So I received a phone call. Now, the amazing part is this. When the season was over, we got a release so we could talk to her. And with my first conversation, she sort of cut me short and says, Coach, I've already made application to Liberty, and I've already been accepted into graduate school. I'm coming to Liberty regardless if basketball is there or not. I'm coming to Liberty. So I was really put in my place real quick. And I asked her if she still had the desire, and do you think she was finished with playing basketball? And she said, no, actually sitting on the bench and watching it just fired her up even more, or fanned the flame, so to speak, and she still wanted to play. So it's been a great marriage, and I won't take any credit at all. It's a young lady that wanted a Christian education. Liberty provided what she was interested in, and God just put us together.
And 13 points a game for her so far here. All she's done was led the team in scoring and been a major spark plug for you guys as well. But her play down at the Georgia State tournament was obviously huge, also that of Simone Brown. Talk about how this team's working right now, clicking offensively.
Well, our guard play has been extremely good, primarily the entire year. And in that particular tournament, both Simone as well as Karly played very well, enough to get all-tournament team and MVP. And but really, Sadie Ellis was solid. Emily Frazier was a little bit injured and banged up, but she provided a big spark for us. Guard play was really good. We needed good guard play with Penn State, as big as they were, and with the quickness and the pressing ability of Georgia State to be successful. And overall, guard play has been extremely well.
And your team went out there and did what it had to do against a Penn State. Like you said, got out there knocking out some of those shots and wound up winning the game by double digits.
Yeah, we played a great second half. I mean, anytime you put up 52 points, if I'm not mistaken, it's a good. The chances you can win with 52 per half. So they really shot the ball well, especially Simone in that game. I think probably had her career high 23.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And now as you turn your sights here to Radford, it's a little bit of an odd placement, but I think we've gotten used to it by now. A couple of conference games early in the year, Radford and Gardner-Webb coming up. Start with the Highlanders. You've opened conference play with wins over them each of the last 3 seasons. How different are they this year, or what are you expecting out of this one?
Well, we've got a lot of new faces and some new energy there with freshmen, and they're doing very, very well, especially inside in the rebounding in that category. And just gaining confidence. Coach McGuire there does a great job, and they're learning the system, and they're in a second year and much improved. Really, their execution is really, really good, and of course, it's a conference game. You can throw out all the records. Now it's what really counts once you get into conference play. So we're actually jumping into a second season, and being on the road too makes it even more difficult.
Is it good that your team is seemingly clicking then at this point?
Well, I don't know if we're clicking, but we have gotten some road games underneath our belt. So it wasn't like, hey, this is our first road game. It is our first road game. It is a conference road game, but it's not too far away. We expect a lot of our fans to be there, and hopefully we can continue with some confidence from coming from the Georgia State tournament and move right in and continue to improve as we go into conference play.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
It's Lady Flames head coach Carey Green, Liberty and Radford, 2 o'clock at the Dedmon Center on Saturday afternoon. For the Liberty Flames Sports Network, I'm Nick Pierce.